Hello everyone, welcome to Homework Help. If you find the videos useful, please subscribe to the channel. So in this video, we'll solve this problem using the concepts of cross product. So as per the problem, calculate the cross product for each of the following pairs of vectors. So let's start with the first pair. The cross product of two vectors is equal to another vector. So there's a very important concept we need to understand and memorize. Now, in order to find the cross product of these two vectors, we have to stack these two vectors and we should write out their y, z, x and y components in that order. So I can show you the steps. So let's start with the first vector. Its y component is -3, z component is 5, x component is 2, and y component is -3. Now we can do the same thing for the second vector. Its y component is -1, z component is 4, x component is 0, and y component is -1. So let's start by finding the x component of the vector that we get from the cross product, and for that we need to cross multiply the y and the z components. So we start from the left side and go down. So -3 times 4. So I'll write it on the board. The x component of the new vector will be then minus, and now we go from left to right in the upward direction. -1 times 5. So there's an important thing you have to understand and memorize. Now we can evaluate this expression. The -3 times 4 is -12, and -1 times 5 is -5. Minus -5 becomes +5, and -12 plus 5 is equal to -7. So this is the x component of the cross product of these two vectors. Now let's find the y component of that vector. For that, I can use a different color. So now we'll cross multiply the z and x components in the same order. So first we go from top to bottom across. Now we go across from bottom to top. Now we can simplify this expression. 5 times 0 is 0. 4 times 2 is 8. So I get -8. Now we can find the z component by cross multiplying the x and y components. So we start from the left side and go across down. So this is the z component of the vector we'll get from the cross product. So now we can write these components together. So the cross product of these two vectors is -7, -8, -2. So this should be the final answer for the first pair of vectors. Now we can analyze the second pair. So we'll start the same way. So we'll write the y, z, x and y components in that order and stack the two vector components. Now we can start by finding the x component. So we can cross multiply the y and the z component starting from the top to bottom. Minus -3 is equal to +3. So this is the x component of the vector we'll get from the cross product. Now we can find the y component. And next we can find the z component. Therefore, the cross product of the second pair of vectors is. Now we can analyze the third pair of vectors. So let's start with the calculation for the x component. Now we can find the y component. Now we can find the z component. Therefore, the cross product of the last pair of vectors is. So this should be the final answer for the third pair of vectors. So I hope you'll find this video useful. Please share it, like it and subscribe to Homework Help. Thank you very much and have a nice day. Bye.